Hello, it's Alex Goodall here, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to the idea of DAO installers. DAO stands for Download and Organize, and the idea behind DAO installers is to help us end the download chaos that we as internet marketers all suffer from. The basic problem is that we download gigabytes of information onto our hard drives, and most of us don't have a good way of organizing that content, and a lot of us who do have a good way of organizing that content find that we're all a bit too lazy to actually organize the stuff into that structure anyway. So here is a proposed solution to both of those problems, and the example I'm going to go through is the downloads from John De Oliveira's Turbo membership site. Those of you who don't know, John has an excellent membership site, and for a monthly fee you get, I don't know, I've forgotten how many, 19, 17, 20 modules, which is different packages of benefits that he provides, one of those being the monthly downloads. And typically what you get each month is a zip folder with 10 articles, you get 5 templates, another 5 Web2 templates, keyword list from a number of niches, PLR ebook, and a PLR script. So you get quite a lot of content. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files, but in fact within those files there's a lot more actual detailed files. You get 6 zip files, but a lot of actual files within there. And the first thing you've got to ask yourself is, how are you going to organize this? Well, if you're only dealing with those zip files, it's not too difficult a problem, and the recommended approach that most people follow is to store the content by the type of content. So you would have a folder for articles, a folder for templates, a folder for keywords, a folder for ebooks, a folder for scripts. This just relates to the downloads you get from the Turbo membership site. Of course, if you were to extend this more generally, you'd have a folder for videos, a folder for audios, and probably some other types as well. And then if you wanted to, you'd divide that up by month, by year, and then by month, and then store the content under each folder for the particular month. So that's a fairly straightforward way of organizing content. However, my contention is that is not the best way. It's probably the simplest way, but it is by far not the most convenient way for retrieving content. So for example, if you've done it like this, and if you organize your content like this, and I would then to say to you, well, show me all the articles you've got that talk about autoresponder sequences, would you be able to do that? Well, you wouldn't. They'd be all over the place within the articles structures. And if I were to say to you, tell me everything, do you have enough content to put together a little business around yoga as a niche? Can you find all the content relating to yoga, all your articles, all your keywords, any templates you've got, any ebooks you happen to have that you've collected around yoga? Can you do that? Well, the answer is no, because your ebooks are stored under ebooks by month, your keywords, so it would be an almost impossible job to gather all that information together. So my contention is the best way to organize things, as I said, is by subject. So everything about RSS, for example, is in the RSS folder. Everything about membership sites is in the membership site folder. Everything about health and fitness has its own folder. Home and garden has its own folder. That is the ideal way. Shock horror. First of all, shock, because who on earth has got time to figure out such a folder structure? There's a huge number of internet marketing topics. What are the right ones? How are they? How do they relate to each other? Who on earth is going to figure all that out? The niches, there's probably thousands and thousands of niches. How on earth you're not going to have thousands and thousands of folders. That's just far too many. So you need to have some compromise, and you need some guidance as to what's behind that compromise. So first of all, shock. Who's got the time to figure out such a structure? It's quite impractical to suggest that. And secondly, once you've got that structure, who on earth has got time to organise the downloads into it? Again, it's impractical to suggest that, which is why most people store their content by type. It's much easier to do that, but it isn't good at all for retrieving the content. So what's the answer? Well, I do have an answer. And the answer to the first question, who's got time to figure out such a folder structure, the answer to that is me. I've done that. That's the basis of my IAM-Index mind map product. Now, this isn't a sales pitch for that product, but that's one of the key features of that, is that it does contain a folder structure for organizing all your content. It's got folders for all the key internet marketing topics, and it's got structures for niches, and also now the new version will have structures for types of content as well, because sometimes you do need that. So this has been done. Who's got time to figure all that? The folder structure, that's been done. I've got that, and you can access that by getting an IAM-Index mind map. Secondly, who's got time to organize the downloads into such a folder structure? The answer to that is the person who's providing you the downloads. So the principle is this: as a supplier, you figure out where each of your files should sit in the IAM-Index folder structure, configure a DAO installer in such a way that all your files are packaged up within the installer, so that when your user downloads a single file, which is the DAO installer, they just run it, and part of the running of that installer means that all the individual files are placed into exactly the right folders within the IAM-Index folder structure, all that's done for the user. So I've got an answer to both those questions. What I'm going to do now is just show you some screen mock-ups of what a DAO installer would look like, and in the next video I'll actually show you a prototype in action. So the user would come up with see the first screen. After they downloaded the file, the installer, run it, this is what they would see, something like this. This is the installer for the Turbo membership downloads for March 2008 from John de Oliveira. Click on next, and they then see this screen. This installer is compatible with the folder structure of the IAM-Index mind map, basically saying what I've said before. If you have a copy of the IAM-Index mind map, this installer will automatically organize the files for you and provide you a record of every file in the download. So that's not just those 5 zip files, but all the individual files within those zip files that have been put into the right places. Then the user would have the option to get a copy of the mind map if they wanted to at this point. And as the supplier of the IAM-Index installer, they would get a commission on any sales made. Clearly that's reasonable. Then the next screen gives the user an option. So if you've got a copy of the IAM-Index mind map, you'd click that box. If you haven't got a copy of the mind map, or if you didn't want to make use of the automatic file organization, you would click the second box. So let's assume I've got the mind map. I'll click the top box, click next, be asked where my system is installed. I can browse to it, that's where my IAM-Index mind map folder is. Click next. Then the installer would go through the installation process, and then I'd get two options. I could view the download report showing me all the files that have been downloaded. I can view a log of all the folders created by the download, and if it's not already done, I can open the IAM-Index mind map. Okay, that's all I'm going to show you on this video. In the next one I will show you a prototype of the thing working, and we'll see what some of these reports look like and what the IAM-Index mind map interface would look like. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.